Let me see. Good afternoon, just barely. Glad to be back at the Roots Fest on Adams. Going on to, what year is it now, Richard? Since 73, 2003, that's 38 years. But who's counting? Here's an old Les Rice song. I've traveled around this country from shore to shining shore, and it really makes me wonder the things I heard and saw. I saw the weary farmer plowing sod and loam, while I heard the auction hammer knocking down his home. But the banks were made of marble, with a guard at every door, and the vaults are stuffed with silver that the farmer sweated for. And I saw the weary miner scrubbing coal dust from his back, while I heard his children crying, got no coal to heat the shack. But the banks were made of marble, with a guard at every door, and the vaults are stuffed with silver that the miner sweated for. And I saw the weary seamen standing idly by the shore, while I heard the bosses saying, got no work for you no more. But the banks were made of marble, with a guard at every door, and the vaults are stuffed with silver that the seamen sweated for. Hi, Kent, how are you? I've seen good people working throughout this mighty land, and I pray we'll get together and together make a stand. Then we'll own those banks of marble, with no guard at any door. And we'll share those vaults of silver that we all have sweated for. This song was written back in 1950. Les Rice was a upstate neighbor of Pete Seeger, so didn't take much to get the song down to Pete, and Pete got it into Sing Out for their very first issue after they went bankrupt with People's Songs, that had been the first publication of labor and topical and protest songs that they started publishing after Pete got back from World War II. But they managed to crawl out from under the bankruptcy of People's Songs and start Sing Out magazine. And this went in the very first issue. That's over 50 years ago now. Actually, over 60 years ago. And yet this song sounds like it could have been written 2 years ago during the meltdown. Wonderful when an old song like this gets a new life. Let's try once more. Then we'll own those banks of marble, with no guard at any door. And we'll share those vaults of silver that we all have sweated for. Thank you.